team paid in the NBA.
And that's what I'm saying. It's at the reality is a lot of these folks if you got a chance to pay these folks early, the Ravens done messed around and found out the same thing. We gonna hold out and we not gonna give him what he wants. Because I'll tell you what, them Lions, if they get their hands on Lamar, boy, I tell you,
I don't know where y'all keep getting this
bro.
Lions narrative, bro.
What you mean?
Where y'all get this Lions nigga? Everybody swears somebody going to the Lions, man.
Bro, this man said that there was a list of teams that came out from allegedly his camp. Even if it wasn't from his camp, it don't matter. There's only a few teams that have the money to pull the trigger on that. And guess who's one of them? All we got to do is cut Jared Goff loose, and we don't owe him that bread.
This year Goff last year, right?
That's what I'm saying. He was originally signed to the Rams anyway, so we don't owe him all the immediate upfront bread. That ain't our problem. Hey, bro, hit the bricks. Lamar's here now, okay? Hey, hit the bricks, my brother in Christ. Somebody just said the Celtics on people behinds this year, and I said, that's the problem now. That's the Celtics' problem now, okay? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know when to call it quits. Just relax. Y'all scaring the short.
All right,
it's
bro.
me.
All right,
Blue.
bro. All right, bro.
Let's go ahead and get to this show, man.
Hold on. I gotta be toxic. You opened the window. I gotta be toxic. So I'm watching YouTube today, right? Guess who spoke out about the Ime Udoka incident?
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes, of all people, spoke out defending this brother. Matt Barnes, of all people. And I was just like, Matt, buddy, pal, buddy.
Sit this one out.
You are not.
Sit.
Yeah, let this one go. Let this one go, Matt. Save face. Let this one go, please, buddy. Please.
That's like in 5 years from now, two teammates get in a fight, and Draymond's like, I don't think he should have hit, bro.
Matter of fact, KG came out talking about Draymond hitting, bro. Like KG, you might not have hit nobody, but the stuff you used to say to people.
You was telling people that they wives tasted like Cheerios on the court. You should have got hit. Right. Somebody should have hit you, Kevin. What is wrong? I'm going to tell you this. Kevin Garnett reaffirms my idea every day that you cannot trust people named Kevin. And I say that as somebody whose father and big brother have the name Kevin. I am telling you, you can't trust folks named Kevin.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I know one trustworthy Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin. I mean, I love him, but
I might tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie. I'm just saying. But anywho, we got to get into this NBA season. The tip-off is here. We're going to try to get this episode right in, right out. Keep your hands up. Put the money in the bag. Nobody gets hurt style so we can get into these games. We got a recap of the NFL. We got to talk about some amazing play that happened this weekend. And are we witnessing the new generation's version of Brady and Manning? We're going to talk about all that and more on today's episode of Facts Over Acts. That sounds like a good show to y'all.
Sound good to me.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to get into this thing, but before I do, we got to do these introductions here. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the Facts Over Acts crew. We got the master of the mix and master, Josh Guyton, in the building.
That is I.
We got the money man, the man of the plan, Chris Allen, in the building.
Right here. Feeling good today.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Ken Gibbs. Now, folks, we got to get into the Would You Rather. And you got to do a year in one of these places. A year at war or a year in prison. Which one you going with?
I gotta go prison. A year, because you didn't say a year in the military. I can survive a year in the military. You said specifically at war.
No, at war. Yeah,
anything
at war.
can happen. Any random day, you could be sleeping in there and you could lose your life by a mine or something. I'm not saying that's not something that can happen in prison. You could lose your life at any moment in prison. But at the same time, if you've been, I feel like if you got enough street smarts or you've been around the right people or you know how to carry yourself the right way, you can slide by a year in prison without nothing drastic happening to you. War, it's so many factors that's outside of your control.
It depends. Is it a maximum level of security 4?
So for both of these, you get tossed into a random one. So you don't get to pick what war you go in or what day you go in. So you could be going in to storm Normandy, or you could be going to like Guam. Like you don't know where you're going. Like you don't know. Okay. It could be something easy. It could be the chances of you surviving are slim to none. And Slim got one toe left in the door, my brother.
Because I'm about to say, if you go to like a San Quentin maximum level 4. I can't see a world where you don't get into any issue and say,
yeah, you could. Again, it's just like the wars. You could end up as like, you could end up in a very terrible war. You could end up as like on the back end of a war that like not too many people died in. You don't know. The prisons. You could end up in Club Fed somewhere with people who did tax evasion. You could end up in Jackson. You don't know. You do not know.
I got it. So I'm gonna choose war for a couple of reasons, right? For one, it's a lot of wars that had a long peacetime. It's a lot of wars like that. So if it's random, that means I got a high probability that I go to a war with a high peacetime, okay? But it's still at war, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, in war, right, you're going in there with majority sick individuals, but some regular individuals that really take pride in defending the country, okay? So, and I'm not... All veterans, I love y'all, man. Y'all the saviors of the USA, Team USA all day. But a lot of y'all sick in the head to sign up to go kill people. I'm just gonna say that right there, okay? A lot of people are sick in the head to sign up to go kill people. I mean, you can't tell me that's a normal reaction to do. No disrespect. So that being said, at least you're dealing with some sane individuals, okay? And I knew Gibbs was gonna laugh at that one because I was completely off the wall and it was very, very rude and disrespectful. But you know me, Gibbs, I ain't got no sense.
I mean, the old saying is, if you go into the military, you either got to be poor or dumb. Which one are you? Yeah, exactly. It's a very
but in this question, you're placed inside a random war, but are you placed on a random side of the war?
Yeah, you don't know which side of the war you're gonna be on.
Chris, you could be in one of them. You could be in one of them African wars, and the other people got guns, and you got old sweatpants and a machete, my boy.
Yeah, that's possible.
I get it, guys. But what I do know is that you can hide in war. You might not be successful, but you can hide in war. Jail, you ain't really no options. It's the same thing every day. You sit in that cell, you get a little bit of free time, you go back to that cell. I think I would go more crazy in jail, not doing nothing productive for a year, versus at least fighting for my life every day in war. That's just me.
Hey, listen.
And you get to travel the world in war. Like,
all I'm saying is this: I'll definitely take prison because. Chris, you mentioned a lot of very interesting factors, but imagine if you just end up as like a Polish soldier on September 1st, 1939. Like, Blitzkrieg is coming and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you could just look up and like, oh, well, this is the end of my life.
Somebody just hit the buy station on you, my boy.
Yeah.
But you could also end up in San Quentin and,
Again, I don't honestly, bro, honestly, like the fact that I went in prison, like as long as the one thing that is like relevant to this is like there are no actual charges on me, so it's not like I'm a chomo or something in there where I'm like, I'm done. As soon as they find my paperwork, I'm cooked. Like I just be like, hey, listen, I had to do this or go to war, so. I'm in here for 365 days, bro. Please leave me alone. I ain't want no smoke with y'all. Y'all want no smoke with me. I'm a civilian, bro. I'm trying to get out here and go live my life, man. I got to do prison. Especially if you think about it this way, the best case scenario in war is a lot worse than the best case scenario in prison. Because imagine if you end up in a Polish jail. Have you seen the jails over in Europe? They're like they're like a college dorm room, basically.
Yeah, man, nice.
I was like, wow, that's crazy. But
you ever seen Japanese prison?
Oh my God!
These meals are illustrious.
Yeah, it don't even look like a jail.
We are not encouraging our audience to go to any. Check out those prisons.
Do not listen to Yachty. Don't take the walk to Poland. It's over the counter there. Don't do it. You're gonna get an international drug trafficking charge. But we got to get into this show now, fellas. The NBA season is here tonight. First thing first. Who y'all got in these games tonight? We got the 76ers and the Celtics. We got the Lakers and the Warriors. Who y'all got?
I have in the first game I got the Celtics. I think the Celtics going to be coming back from losing the tough finals. They retooled and picked up some good pieces in the offseason. That combined with me having no faith in the Sixers to do much of anything this season. As far as when it comes to success or beating tough teams, I got the Celtics winning that game pretty handily. I say about 13. Nice double-digit win. And then second game, y'all not gonna believe me, but I actually got the Lakers. I think the Golden State gonna be riding that high of winning a championship. It might be some chemistry issues over there, but Golden State also usually start the season off either super hot or super cold. And the years that they come off of a championship, they usually start the season super cold. And also think LeBron in year 20, he got a whole new focus. That Lakers team looks relatively healthy, so I think that the Lakers squeak by with a win just off of a career night from Brian.
Okay. All right, Chris, who you got, man?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
So we just threw out all of the rules that we had for football season, because I remember vividly, Guyton, you said the Rams Super Bowl hangover. You know, it's probably the Bengals Super Bowl hangover, right?
Yeah.
But you saying the Celtics, they lost their head coach because he couldn't stop humping other stuff.
I said that the Bengals was gonna start the season off hot because they was hurt from that. They was hurt from that loss in the Super Bowl, and that the Rams was gonna start off slow. I didn't know both teams were gonna start off slow, but I thought the Bengals were gonna start hot.
Okay, you did. I remember. I think that was me and Giz that was like, I don't think they're gonna be that, because neither one of us picked. I picked them to win the division, but I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. But anyway, I got the 76ers winning this one badly. I think the stars have finally aligned. Doc Rivers will not make the whole year because I think they're going to have some struggles. But if he does, I think that's a benefit. Doc Rivers has proven what to us? He's proven that he's a great regular season coach.
Yeah, he's a heck of a
great regular season coach. You got a motivated Harden who took less money, but he got to make the money back eventually, right? Right. You got Joel Embiid has been knocked off of the MVP vote by Joker 2 years back to back when he should have theoretically won. Joker shouldn't have won the first year with a 6 seed team. Well, no, what was he? Yeah, he was a 4th, 5th, 6th team. I can't remember exactly, 2 years ago. And then last year, his team was virtually like nothing without him, which I understand. He had the numbers to prove it. But Joel Embiid is right there. Right there next to Joker. Like, if you didn't give it to Joker, you had to give it to Embiid. It was nobody else. Giannis the only other argument, but I don't think Giannis gets another one because of the voter fatigue, and in addition to, he got a lot more help around him than those two guys did at the time. Now, with a retooled Harden, a motivated Joel Embiid to get this MVP, and he's healthy, Harden's healthy, with Doc Rivers. They picked up P.J. Tucker. They also picked up DeAnthony Melton, who was an undercover great pickup for them. That's a good bucket off the bench. Yeah. People say DeAnthony Melton, who? But he's a really good pickup off the bench. If you saw what he did to Memphis, he's a big part of the success that happened in Memphis last year. If you actually watch basketball. Very big part of the success Memphis had last year. In addition to that, they at the crib. No. Seth, I mean, they in the TD Garden. They in TD Garden. That's the best place to. I was saying the Celtics at the crib. Whenever you play in TD Garden, everybody's seen to get buckets. I don't know if y'all remember 2 years ago when KD was in that TD Garden, he was getting 50 like it was his last name, like KD 50. That was his name. That crowd's so terrible in TD Garden. I live out here in Boston. Yeah, they call you all types of words in Boston that I'm not going to say on air. But that right there is fuel to the fire. I think the Sixers going to take this one in a 7-point win.
Okay. And who you got, the Lakers or Warriors?
Now, this one is tough, okay? But if you telling me Anthony Davis, after not touching the basketball for over 200 days, after he got injured and closed out the Lakers season and closed the book on their playoff hopes, you telling me he looked good in preseason, I'm not going to lie to you. But if you telling me he going to come back and give us 25, 12, and 6, and LeBron going to give you 30, 10, and 10, that's about what they going to need. Because Russ, he ain't looked good yet. He's disgruntled. Patrick Beverly ain't never gave you much offensively. Who else is that? That team is so top heavy that it's really 2 guys, and then the rest is just abnormal role players. So That new coach there, Darvin Ham, he got a very tall task on his hand this season. I don't think they scratched 40 wins this year, honestly.
Yikes! Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna touch on that later. We'll get into that later. But for now, I'm gonna say this. I think that the 76ers beat the Celtics. I think both of the teams that are having turmoil, it's too much. It's just too much coming in early in the season. And that's why I'm going with the Sixers and the Lakers in these games. I think that there's too much nonsense going on in both of those locker rooms at the moment. So, just so we got this correct, just so we don't have no improprieties next week when we do this show, Josh has the Celtics and the Lakers. I have the 76ers and the Lakers, and Chris has the 76ers and the Warriors. I got that correct?
That is correct.
All right, yeah. So I definitely can't see a world where the Celtics bounce back and act like they didn't just lose their head coach. Because, like, honestly, as much as people say, "Oh, your coaching doesn't matter in the NBA all that much," I very strongly disagree. When you're looking at like extremely high level coaching, it shows in everything a team does. Yes, Marcus Smart is a very good defender. It's a reason he was the last guard to win the Defensive Player of the Year since, what was it, Tony Allen or Gary Payton?
Gary Payton.
Like Gary Payton, even deeper than Tony Allen. My God. But it's a reason. It wasn't just he alone being a really good defender. It was that team scheme, and he's Ime Udoka for whatever problems Ime Udoka has. One thing that you cannot say about him is that his mind for defense, his mind for the schemes, his mind for, okay, this is what their best players do. This is how they get to their spots. This is how we stop them. You can't argue he's not one of the best in the game at that. So to me, I think that losing him is a bigger loss than many people are giving it credit for.
Definitely.
And the Warriors, I think that and I could be wrong here. I could be wrong. I think the Warriors dynasty is over. I think that we've officially hit that point where, like, I don't see them winning another championship or even being super deep and relevant in the playoffs beyond the conference finals.
You don't think it's one more year left?
I don't think so.
Hold on. What happened? What you know that I don't know?
I'm telling you, that team was like one step good enough to win last year. I think they were one step good enough to win last year.
So look, I agree with you, Gibbs, because I thought last year was their last year too. But throughout this offseason, what team got better to beat them?
I mean, that's fair.
A lot of teams the Celtics got a lot better.
I think the only team that got good enough to like sure-handedly beat the Warriors is the Celtics.
The Sixers got better. A lot of teams got better.
Sixers ain't beating the Warriors in the 7-game series.
But one of the biggest things that we're seeing in the NBA right now that like is making the NBA wildly unpredictable in some ways, the youth movement in the NBA, drafting all these players that are super projects. When these guys bust out, it's not like wait, what?
Right.
Like, oh, he jumped from 5 to 10 points. It's like, no, Bones Highlands is now averaging 20. What? When did that happen?
Right.
Who is this guy? Like, that's just so I think that the other teams, just by getting older and getting a little bit better, and the Warriors just by getting a little older and everybody getting a little more tired of Draymond and Jordan Poole getting a little more cocky, not even got the check, and Wiggins being Wiggins. I mean, let's be honest. He looked good last year, but he got a little bit of that Dennis Rodman in him where, like, how much can you trust him? How much can you trust him to, like, do what he needs to do? Exactly.
Wiggins made me a baby believer, but he got to be the third or fourth option for me to trust him.
Okay, and if you look at that if you look at that team, Steph is always going to be the first. If you look at that team, Steph is always going to be the first option until he retires. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Who's the second option? Clay, right?
Clay? Yeah, but in that playoffs, it was Wiggins at times, honestly.
And I was just about to say, Clay, the second. If you watch the playoffs, Clay wasn't the second option no more. So that's what tells me, like, this team, if you trust in Wiggins to be a second option to get you to the finals,
you're not factoring the fact that they did just bring James Wiseman back from injury.
Okay. And again, James Wiseman is one of those young guys that can have that breakout year where it's like, wait a minute, James Wiseman did what? He's in what conversation? It's possible. Right. It's very possible. But it's also possible that like many big men who got hurt early in their career, kind of just meanders around at like middle of the pack, maybe slightly above middle of the pack center. And it's like, he's good, but he's not like the guy that's you going to hit your wagon to and say, hey, Steph having an off night. Dump it to James in the post. James, do your thing.
Right.
I don't know. That's to be seen. So that's our prediction here for these opening night games. And trust me, it's going to be a great time to see all of these games. But now we got to get back to the NFL a little bit one more time before we do. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to do the NBA 1 through 8, and then we'll get to the NFL at the end of it. Fellas, tell me, in the East, who is your 1 through 8? Talk to me.
All right, give me 1 second because I got this written down. Chris, I don't know.
Actually, I'm sorry. We got the play in now. So who are your 1 through 10?
All right, I got mine. I got mine pulled up. All right, Eastern Conference. 1 seed, I got the Bucks. 2 seed, I got Boston.
Hold on. Let me get him on the record for this. That boy Guyton, I don't know what he did last year, but that boy said the Celtics #1 seed, and somebody texted me and said Guyton is smoking Franklin Saint's product.
What happened?
Because
I told y'all preseason Celtics Warriors in the finals.
All right, so you got the Bucks is 1.
2 seed Boston. 3 seed Cleveland.
What?
3 seed Cleveland.
All
4
right.
seed Brooklyn. 5 seed Philly. 6 seed Miami. 7 seed Atlanta. 8 seed Chicago. 9 seed Toronto. 10 seed New York.
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Very interesting.
That's your
I want to know what you got, what you know about Cleveland that I don't, that got them at a 3 seed.
I just think Cleveland is a rather young team, and they got some energy, and I think they like riding a really after the last season, I think they just ride a momentum that got them feeling really hot right now. And I think that's a team that's just going to be hot enough to have them have a great regular season. But when the playoff time is fizzle out, experience always shows its head in the playoffs. So I just think they're riding enough of momentum. And they got Donovan Mitchell over there that can take over the ball when they need a bucket late game, which they couldn't get done last season. I think they got the pieces to put together a great regular season. I can see them getting 50 wins.
I'll tell you this, they're very long and athletic. They're very, very long and athletic. And you're right. The one problem they had, which is why the same reason I tell people all the time when they're like, oh, if the Pistons drafted Carmelo, they would have never won a championship. Shut up, you dorks. Sometimes you need a player that you can roll the ball out to.
Here's why the Pistons would have won a championship.
Oh, my God. Please, not with this again.
Here's why. Because if they had Carmelo, I don't think that they would have went and traded for Rasheed. They got Rasheed that same season.
Okay.
If you replace Rasheed in that lineup with Melo, you're not winning a ring.
How many conference finals did they make straight, Josh?
6? 7?
Now you're going to tell me that Rasheed was that integral to teams he barely played on. Stop it. Stop it. Again, that team was set up for long-term success.
You would have had Tayshaun, Ben, and Melo.
That's my point.
In the conference finals.
That's my point.
You really just sat there and said Rasheed Wallace. By year 6, Melo was almost averaging 30.
He was almost averaging that before year 6.
Exactly.
That's my point. And imagine him with the floor space and the Mr. Big Shot. Imagine him with Ben Wallace at the rim, Tayshaun as the perimeter defender checking the other team's best score. Man, get out of here, Chris. I'm sorry, not Chris. Get out of here, Josh. Get out of here. We're not doing that today. We've already had that conversation. But anyway, all right, I feel you. I'm going to tell you, Cleveland is the only one that was interested in me. I agree with you. Many people would say the Nets are going to be much higher. And if you're still drinking Nets Kool-Aid in 2022, you're the equivalent of a Kanye fan in 2022. That's what you are. That's what you are, brother. You're looking bad.
I think the Nets could when playoff time get here, but I got the Nets at a 4 seed. And healthy.
I think 4 seed is a little high for them, but I could see that as their ceiling. I absolutely, everything goes right. I can see them as a 4 seed. But some people telling me they the best team in the East. They got the most talent in the East. Listen, again, bag Twitter and the damage y'all have done to basketball analysis. Y'all will pay for your crimes. If there is a God, he is sending you to the bad place. Do you understand? He is sending you to be with Chidi and company down there. You're going to the bad place. You're not going to the good place. I don't care how many different spins Kyrie can hit at a rim. It's not going to work. It's never going to work, beloved. It's never going to work. Chris, you're East 1 through 10. Talk to me.
All right. So my number 1 seed, I'm sorry. I think Joel Embiid's the MVP this year. I'm going Philly first. I think he's going to average 32 and 12, and I think Harden's going to average at least 23 and 12, something like that. I think this is going to be a tough duo to beat this year. Harden looked great in the preseason, even the little minutes he did play. Harden looked great, and Embiid, I think this is the year they say, okay, we got to give him the MVP. It's no doubt. But I'm going to go Bucks second. Only because Giannis, another player that's probably going to be 1-2 back and forth all year for MVP. And I also think with Chris Middleton getting a lot of time off, it's going to lower his workload. And Giannis, he was shooting the ball really well at the end of last year. I think he continues that this year. And I think he averages 32 and 12 just like Embiid. I think it's going to be a toss-up between the two of them. Third, a lot of people ain't going to like this. But third seed, I'm going to go Atlanta.
Really?
At the 3?
Listen. That's spicy. Hear me? That's spicy right there.
They had the injury bug. And what was their number one problem? Paint protection and perimeter defense at the guard position. Well, if Clint Capella's healthy and DeJounte Murray plays in Atlanta now, you fix both of those problems. And the coach that they have, we speak highly of on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
Trae Young no longer has to guard your best point guard. Trae Young no longer has to guard one of your best players. You have a paint guy and you have a perimeter guy that can sit down in that chair. I think that fixes the Hawks pretty fast. Very fast, actually. And you still got John Collins. I don't know how they pulled that off, but, man. Now, fourth, I'm going to have to go in Miami. I can't never put Spo below 4 seed. I'm sorry. Especially Spo when he got a superstar. If Spo don't have a superstar, you can put around 6. But Spo in the regular season, he always going to be relevant. I'm going to go Miami at 4.
Okay.
All right. Now, 5, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw Brooklyn at 5. I think it's kind of high because I honestly think that without a serious big man, I think they struggle this year. I think they struggle a lot this year. But they got enough scoring and enough shooting this year to make them a middle-of-the-pack team. Now, 6, I'm going to have to put Toronto there. Toronto don't have that star, but Scotty Barnes going to take a leap. And that defense they play in Toronto, and they got the whole country back on them, it makes it a hard situation. I think they stay around 45, 46 wins, and I think that keeps them at the 6th seed.
I hate how good Scotty Barnes is on 2K. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
It's getting good.
If he was that good in real life, he would already have a damn MVP.
Yo, if you want to go over your homie crib and pick a quote-unquote whack squad and hoop on them in 2K, grab them Raptors or them Rockets. It's some shooters on them teams.
God.
Kevin Porter, Ray Allen on 2K, bro.
the fact that Pascal Siakam is absolutely cooking any center you put out in front of him, and they play him at the 5. When have they ever played Pascal at the 5?
Man.
When is that a thing? But anywho, proceed, Chris. Proceed.
Yeah. So 7, I'm gonna disrespect them a little bit. No Lonzo, I don't really see them being relevant this year. DeMar DeRozan can drop 30, 40, 50 all he want, but him and Zach LaVine gonna have to show me something with no point guard because neither one of them have shown that they can be a number one option on a really good team yet. Neither one of them have shown that. DeRozan tried to show it yesterday, and then the injury bug bit them. They lost Lonzo, and they instantly fell down in them standings. 8. No, that was 7. Yeah, 8. This breaks my heart to say this, man. I'm gonna have to put the Knicks in there. They did get better technically. I don't think they should really go for a winning season this year, but they picked up Jalen Brunson, who showed he can be a solid third option on the team. RJ Barrett's going to get better. I'm praying that Julius Randle has a backup year, but I'm really not. No, sorry. I put Cleveland at 7. I forgot all about Cleveland. Sorry. Put Cleveland at 7. I don't believe in that team for a couple reasons.
So wait, Cleveland at 7. Do the Bulls go down to 8 or do the Knicks?
Yeah, the Bulls go down to 8. Bulls go down to 8 and the Knicks go down to 9. Yep. Sorry. I completely forgot about them. I really don't see Cleveland being relevant. I mean, if you look at that team, tell me what's really different from that team and the Jazz team.
I mean, I think they got more defenders. I think they got that's the biggest difference.
You had Mike Conley, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
I think they're a lot more athletic too, so they'll be able to make up with those mistakes by getting up and down the floor.
And I was just about to say they got more young guys that can play inside as defenders. You got Jared Allen, you got Mobley, you've got.
But if you look at what that team was successful on last year, if you really look at what they were successful on last year, right? Playing as a unit. You added a big piece that needs the ball a lot. And he's not a playmaker. They were successful last year, and they're a deep team. They got Karis LeVert as like the 8th man on that team. That's a very deep team. But the Cavs gonna Cavs. Come on now, let's be real. The Cavs gonna Cavs.
So let me make sure. So let me make sure I got you right through this first 9. 76ers, Bucks, Hawks, the Heat, the Nets, Raptors, Cavs, Bulls, Knicks.
Oh, I messed up. Celtics. I forgot Celtics.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I know the NBA is gone, but Jesus Christ, I think they got enough. I think they got enough to still get in there.
I'm gonna put them 3. Move everybody down. Okay, I'm gonna put them 3.
Gotcha. Okay, so the Hawks go to 4. Okay, I got you.
Miami go to 5. Sorry, Spo. Yep. Sorry.
Interesting.
I was looking at Guyton list, and it's throwing me off. I need to stop looking at his list. So then 9, I got the Knicks, and 10. I really hate to say this. I really do hate to say this. 10. I can't even believe I'm fixing my mouth to say this. I got the Wizards being a 10th seed.
Okay, wait a minute, Chris. Wait a minute, because I'm double checking the numbers here in the math. You got 10 before you got to the Wizards. So who's going out?
All right, let me redo it. Let me redo it. Philly 1, Bucks 2, Celtics 3, Atlanta 4, Miami 5.
Yep.
Toronto 6, Cleveland 7.
Okay, Toronto
Chicago
6.
8.
So wait. Toronto 6, Cleveland 7.
Yep.
Okay. Go
ahead. Chicago 8.
Okay.
Knicks 9.
All right.
And Washington 10.
Knicks 9.
Only because
and Wizards 10. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Washington.
You got Porzingis, Kuzma, and Bradley Beal. I feel like they're gonna try to make themselves relevant to make it justify the $260 million they gave Bradley Beal.
I'm gonna tell you. Now the new list omits the Nets, and here's the thing, Chris. I feel you. I'm right there with you. I think that they're one injury away from missing the playoffs. I think if anything happens to KD, that's not a playoff team. I with my whole heart and soul.
It has to be to KD though.
Yes, it has to be to KD. If Kyrie gets hurt, they'll be all right. They'll be fine. But if Ben Simmons gets hurt, great. Who cares? Whatever. But if anything happens to KD, if they don't surround that man in some bubble wrap, some saran wrap, some the good,
and I mean he's been injured the last 2 years.
He's one injury away from not being there. Hey, listen,
they already got Seth Curry and Patty Mills missing the start of the season.
Hey, listen, I know that I'm a homer. I know that I love my Pistons a lot, and I like Jaden Ivey a lot. I like Cade Cunningham a lot. Please don't think I'm gonna put them in this list. This Pistons
you don't want them in this list because you know what's in the draft.
Oh, listen, I don't got that much faith in Wembanyama. I think that people are like I think people are a little high talking about how good he's gonna be.
So here's my thing with Victor Wembanyama. If he can stay healthy, I have no doubt in my mind that he would be like a top 10 greatest player of all time.
Absolutely.
But and I think that
if Ralph Sampson had stayed healthy, he would have been up there.
If Ralph Simpson stayed healthy, Houston was winning 10 rings in a row. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing else about it.
That's my point. If we trusted these 7'3", 7'4" guys to stay healthy, and everybody keeps saying, well, he looks like an athlete and the old guys didn't. Go watch some videotape of Bol Bol. That man did not look like, I'm sorry, not Bol Bol, Manute Bol. Yeah. He did not look like a klutz out there. That man had dancer's feet. He just was too tall. He kept getting hurt. Yeah. There was nothing he could do. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all in a very generous way. Yeah, Wembanyama has all these good things, all these great things. The NBA pace is too fast up and down the court for me to trust 7'4" to stay healthy over a career's worth. That's that thin. I don't know what it is about the NBA, but it has a very limited body type that has success in it. And he falls outside of that. He falls pretty far outside of that. But anyway, I don't want the Pistons to be in here. You're absolutely right, Chris. But not because of the draft, just because I believe that this team, they're building in the right way, but they're not there yet. They're not. Right. Their best big man is 6'11" or 6'10". No. How tall is Stu? Is he 6? He's 6'9"?
No, he's 6'9", bro. Yeah.
Yeah, they best big man is 6'9". They're not.
Listen, and one other thing about Brooklyn, I don't know what happened to the world, but short-term memory. Did y'all not realize this team almost fell apart this summer? This team literally had to have KD in a room with the owner of the team, and they have to say, listen, KD, we don't want you to leave. We're not trading you. I don't think this team stays together. Yeah. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Kyrie on the last year of his deal, you go get assets for him. You don't let him walk for nothing. You go get assets for him.
And here's the thing. I think that the Nets know that they leverage too much and that they're stuck in the old situation where you can't, there's nothing you can do. Okay, you give KD away. Who do you send him to and what do you get in return?
Right.
I don't know how they didn't realize from that deal they did with Boston.
And if you just send KD away, you're in a really bad situation now because Kyrie's going to leave anyway. He's on the last year of his deal. He's going to leave anyway. That seems to be a foregone conclusion at this point. So KD, you get rid of him. Kyrie's leaving anyway, so now you got to get rid of him too, and you're left with Ben Simmons as your centerpiece.
Sheesh.
Whose team already tried to build around Ben Simmons.
Oh, stop it. You can't, and I mean this very genuinely, no disrespect. You can't build around Ben Simmons. You can't do it. That's literally an impossible task. Hey, I want to build around a guard that can't shoot. Well, he's tall and he can get to the rim, but he can't shoot. Come on. You can't do much there.
I don't think KD and Kyrie played a full season together in Brooklyn. I really don't. I just don't. We're not gonna act like this summer didn't happen. That's just. I'm glad I'm not the only one who didn't have the Nets in the playoffs because I would have felt crazy if because people are already calling me crazy for this. But I digress. Anywho, my top 10 are I got Bucks at 1. I think that again. Just by not having a lot of turmoil, they got better compared to these other teams. I got the Heat. I got the Heat at 2. Now listen, I'm a bigger fan of Spo than Chris. You know what I mean? Me and Chris right there on the Spo bandwagon. We right there, baby. Spo, boy.
Let me tell you, when he had LeBron and all them, I really didn't think that he did much. I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. Anybody we could go out there and win with them. We could do that, whatever. But what he showed afterwards, I think they were bad for a year? They missed the playoffs for a year after that? And then all of a sudden they were like,
they went. They went to the playoffs the year after that. They went to the playoffs.
No, not the year after Brown left. I know they
you said directly, the direct.
The direct next year. The direct next year they missed. And then the year after they were a year removing Brown, they were back and it was wait.
And that was the same year they lost Bosh and they still went.
And he was out with a blood clot all year, and it was Wait, what? Goran Dragic is really good now? Wait, who is this Richardson character? We have never heard of him. What's happening here? So I
look at Max Strus last year.
The Strus is loose. The Strus is loose. So I got the Bucks at 1. I got the Heat at 2. I got the Celtics at 3. I got the Hawks at 4. I got the Cavs at 5. I got the Raptors at 6. I got the Bulls at 7. I got the Knicks at 8. I got the Wizards at 9. Wait. Who am I missing? I feel like I got everybody.
You missing
I got
Philly.
I'm sorry. The 76ers. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's hard when you.
Yeah. I didn't. I should have wrote it down. That's on me. Anyway, the 76ers are my 4th seed. Everybody else slide down. So I think they'll be below the Heat. I think they'll be below the Hawks. But everybody else, go ahead and slide down.
I'm the only one riding that Sixers bandwagon.
Yeah, you're the only one. You're the only one, big dog. I'm sorry. The thing with the 76ers that makes me not believe in them is not just Doc Rivers. It's that they have a personality, like, as a unit of unseriousness. As much as I like Joel Embiid, he's a very unserious human being at times. And then you got James Harden. I'm not going to say anything beyond you've got James Harden. I'm going to leave it at that.
Come on, man. He ain't been in no rap videos all summer, man.
The fact that that's an accomplishment, Chris. The fact that, like, we're like, oh, it's embarrassing. That's worse than applauding a fish for swimming. That's like, hey, this fish didn't kill 3 people today. So, like, we're excited about this. Like, bro, you're a basketball player. That's your job. Josh, start us off, man. Since you're the one that actually came prepared today, give us your West 1 through 8.
All right, I got a couple in the West that y'all gonna call me crazy for, but y'all just gotta hear me out.
As long as the Kings not in it, bro, I'm okay with it.
I got the Kings at 10.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh my God. I don't believe in it. This man is smoking throwing. He's smoking
1 seed. Los Angeles Clippers. 1 seed.
Hold on. Josh, I'm going to buy you this kit from CVS. I'm going to need you to use it. I'm going to need you to use it.
Hey, Facts Over Acts is drug testing this year, bro. It's drug testing. We finna put out ads for a third host.
Kawhi going to play how many games?
I'm under the belief that the Clippers are going to be healthy and they have enough veteran pieces and they have enough defense to put together a good regular season.
They have a great team on paper.
My next part of that statement is I have to wait till later in the season to see, but I firmly believe they're going to lose in the first round to whoever the 8 seed is. But I have them being the 1 seed in the regular season if healthy.
This is literally the hottest take of all time. This is like, if this actually pans out, if they not only get the 1 seed but also lose to the 8 seed. Josh, I kid you not. Like, the odds on that got to be like one of the craziest. Like, Chris, I know that you're our resident betting guy. If you could pull up the numbers on that for the next episode, that's going to be your homework for this week, Chris. Because I need the odds on them getting the 1 seed and losing to an 8 seed in the first.
Hold on. I got it saved already. Hold on. Give me 1 second, Gibbs.
Even better. Just let me know when you got it. With the way that the play-in works, they could end up playing a 9 or 10 seed. They can end up playing the Kings. They end up playing the Kings.
They have the Clippers playing. The line is set at 52.5 wins for the Clippers. And for them to be the first seed, it's a plus 600. That's it. That's not even that bad, actually.
Wow. Okay. So Clippers 1 seed. Go ahead. Proceed.
Golden State Warriors 2.
Mm-hmm.
Denver 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got Dallas at 4. I'm sorry. I got Memphis at 4.
All right.
Dallas at 5.
Gotcha.
Phoenix at 6.
Okay.
Minnesota at 7.
Gotcha.
Another might be a hot take, but if they stay healthy, I might be part of the bandwagon. I fully believe in this team. I got New Orleans at 8.
I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that. I think most people
Zion
would say
did
that's
roll his
very
ankle in
reasonable.
preseason, so
Even without Zion, I still think they could pull off an 8 seed without Zion.
Last year, they make it into the actual playoffs?
Yeah, I think
Last
they
year?
were. I think they were a 10 seed. And then did they make the play in or something like that? I think
They
have
made and they pushed the Suns to what was it, 6?
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
And I remember,
I'm not mad. I think that's fair.
Because Grand Theft Alvarado got Chris Paul in the playoff series, and I'm like, good for you, Alvarado. Good for you. I like that guy. I like him a lot. All right, proceed.
I got the Los Angeles Lakers at 9.
Okay.
And I have Sacramento at 10.
Okay. All right. I just to make sure I got this straight here.
Yep.
You got the Clippers as a 1 seed.
Yep.
And you have the Kings making the playoffs. Josh, did you go out to California and they gave you one of those edibles that they told you, like, don't eat the whole thing? Don't. You gonna think you eat the edible, but the edible gonna eat you if you take the whole joint.
Man, this edible ain't nothing. No, man. Okay, so here's my thing. Just think of the teams in the Western Conference. If the Kings aren't at the 10 seed, then who replaces them? Because every other team behind them is dookie.
I mean, that's fair.
The Spurs?
That's fair. No, the Spurs are not making the playoffs.
The Jazz?
They're not making the playoffs this year. No, the Jazz are in
The
full take mode.
Rockets?
Now, here's the thing. Y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me here. Y'all gonna hate me.
I got him at 10.
I was just about to say, I actually kind of believe in the Rockets more than I do the Kings.
The Kings at 10, yo.
That's fair, though. That's actually fair, because you know what? I can see the argument for Kings over Rockets. I didn't consider how bad the bottom of the West was. That's fair. Chris, tell me your top 10 for the West.
Number 1 seed. All right. Now this is very, very. The West to me is a dart. I'm gonna go fully healthy Denver, number 1 seed in the West. I think Joker, when he get his troops back, he been keeping them afloat. I think when his troops back, he gets you that 1 seed in the West. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go Memphis. I think Ja Morant is gonna be the West back and forth 1 and 2 with Joel Embiid and Giannis for MVP, because they won 19 games without him and they started the season without Jaren Jackson starting out. But if they won 19 games without Ja, I think they could still do the same thing without Jaren Jackson. And they're a young team. They only going to get better. They lost DeAnthony Melton, but they picked up a couple other nice young guys. 3 seed, I'm going to go Warriors, just because I think Curry going to have another fabulous season. 4 seed, I'm going to go Suns. I think that locker room is damaged beyond repair. Aiden signed back with him because he had to, but I really don't think that this team is sustaining a healthy locker room throughout the season. And Chris Paul eventually got to drop off more. He already dropped off a lot since his prime, but he got to drop off more.
I mean, real quick, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, the only reason that he's back with the Suns is because he agreed for somewhere else and they matched him, right?
Yeah.
That's what
he agreed somewhere else and they matched. Yeah.
And with Monty Williams benching him in the playoffs because he wasn't performing, I just don't see how that relationship gets repaired. I really don't. So that being said, now 5. I got Minnesota at 5. They won. If you look at this, Vegas got the line at 48.5 wins. They won 46 last year, and Anthony Edwards started off the season slow. You got Anthony Edwards starting off the season like he ended the season last year, hopefully, and you added Rudy Gobert. So now Cat don't gotta play defense. Cat just out there to do whatever you want. He can shoot all the threes you want. I'm gonna go them at 5. Now we can bring up your Clippers. Okay, we can bring up the Clippers now.
Don't call them my
Kawhi ain't
Clippers.
played more than 70 games. I mean, they your 1.
I don't know, bro. You made them your 1 seed. They kind of your squad, dog. They gotta be your. I have never ever in my life seen this.
Since y'all saying they my squad, if they ball like that, I'm just let y'all know I'm talking crazy.
Hey, you get the rights to do so.
You get
but
that
just
right.
Just know if they bad, you're banned from Laker fandom for forever. Like if they stink, you're banned from Laker fandom forever. So Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. I mean,
as long as Bron is a Laker, he hate the Lakers anyway. So I mean,
I feel like on this show I've been giving Bron a lot of love since we started the Facts Over.
Yeah, on this show, but outside this show, I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it.
Kobe is rolling over in his grave talking about Lakers fans giving Clippers a 1 seed. Oh, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Go ahead, Chris.
7, I got Dallas. I'm gonna be honest with you. Luka health is not nothing that you got to be concerned about, but his being in shape to start the season is. No. And Brunson carried them afloat. What you mean?
Did you see Luka this offseason? He looked in better shape than we ever seen him.
Luka, I was just about to say he's one of the 5 players that's not lying. When he said I'm in the best shape of my life, he's one of the 5 players that is not telling us a tall tale.
Listen. I agree with y'all. Luka looked good, but you traded away Jalen Brunson. His next best option on that team is Christian Wood, and that's your next best player. That's your best big man, and he coming off the bench. Maxi Kleber, Michael Finney Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie. That team is not. It's Luka or nothing.
I'm surprised they didn't go all in for Gobert. I'm surprised they didn't go all in.
I thought if they went all in on Gobert, the league would be over with. The Dallas would be the front runners.
You wouldn't. And this is the interesting thing about this. When you have a generational talent, you do everything you can to surround them with the pieces they need to succeed. And at the end of the day, your championship window, people always say, well, would you leverage your future for a championship? Baby, I'm a Detroit Lions fan. Yes, take the whole future. Take the future, the present, and the past if it means I get a chip. Absolutely. The chip is always worth it. Every championship to me is worth at least 7 to 8 years worth of suffering. I'm going to just throw that out there. Some people might not agree with me.
I mean, I could agree because think how many middle of the pack teams trying to constantly get to that point and they go through 8 years being mediocre but don't win a ring.
Let's take it even further. Let's look at the Denver Nuggets. They, for 3 decades basically, have never been terrible. They've never been like a terrible team.
Denver has had a squad since like the mid-'80s.
And that's my point. They've always been like, oh man, you go from Alex English to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, who set the world on fire with the quick release and all that good stuff. And then you go on to get the Carmelo generation, the Dikembe Mutombo situation going on over there. You had all of these going on over there. Then you go from that to Joker. And what do y'all have to show for it in terms of championship? Hey, take one. Take a couple years of us being terrible. Just give me a ring. Proceed, Chris.
Okay. I got Anthony Street Clothes Davis not playing more than 50 games this year, so I'm going to go Lakers at 8. Mm-hmm. That's just me personally. Lakers at 8.
Hey, I don't blame you.
At 9, now this is where it get tricky for me. I got the Pelicans at 9. And then I'm going to go Rockets at 10, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Sacramento keeps that team together because, for one, I think they're going to take the trade for Russ to try to tank this year. So, if they take the trade for Russ and trade but take De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis somewhere else and buy Russ out, they're full-blown Wembanyama. That's what they want.
Hey, quick question. What do y'all think Adam Silver is going to do to discourage or stop tanking? Because he's put out a memo saying I don't want to see it, I don't want to have it, and
I think you got to change the rules to the lottery. I mean, they've changed the rules to the lottery dozens of times. I feel like in the past, however many years. So I think you got to change it back to. I think the original format was the bottom 8 seeds all had equal opportunity to get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I would love to see that as a Pistons fan because I don't think that they're going to be in the bottom 4 or 5.
Because I think right now is the bottom 3 seeds both have a 25% chance each.
No, I think it's less than that. It's 16%.
Okay, they must have changed it recently. But I know the bottom 3 seeds have an equal amount to get the number 1 pick.
I believe they changed it in response to the whole 76er situation where it was the process. Which, by the way, look what the process has yielded. What a time. Am I right? Good for you guys. Anyway, okay. All right, Chris, I like it. Mine looks like a blend of both of y'all's because I agree. I got Denver being number one. I think Jokic, with all the guys in tow, I think with him not having to carry as much of the load, I think they're going to be all right. I think he's going to pull up, make some things happen. I think they end up getting the number one seed. I think the Warriors get number two. I think Memphis gets number three. I think Minnesota gets the 4 seed. I've got the Suns taking the 5 seed. I've got Dallas taking the 6 seed. I've got the Lakers taking number 7. Now, here's the thing. The Lakers, to me, are a team that, like, everybody either thinks they're going to be terrible or, like, they're going to be championship contenders. I think they're going to be, like, just fine. Like, I think they'll be, like, good enough. I think that there will be, like, there will be a stretch this year where LeBron has to put up 40 a game again for them to win. But I think that that'll be because Anthony Davis is hurt and, like, maybe right after a rest trade where Anthony Davis gets hurt, that's a reality. But I don't think that they're going to be, like, god-awful to the point where it's like, hey, they probably going to be in the play in there. After that, I've got the Pelicans. I believe I'm at 8. Am I at 8? Correct?
Yeah, 8.
Okay, at 8, I got the Pelicans. At 9, I have the Clippers. And, this is tough because I'm torn between – I have no faith in the Clippers. None. Take the most minuscule thing you can think of.
They got all that Ty Lue. They got all that Ty Lue, though.
Good for them. More power to them. I think, again, everybody keeps acting like Kawhi's going to come back and be good again. We're talking about a 33-year-old. Wait, how old is he? 32? 33?
I think he's 33.
We're talking about a 33-year-old that has not played in, a year and a half, 2 years? And everybody's just like, he's going to come back and be a top 15 player in the world. Sure, good for you. Good for you guys for believing that. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do so. So that's what I got going on there. And it's tough for me. It's tough for me to do this. It's tough for me to do this because I hate that Jalen Green character. But I agree with Chris. I got the Rockets at 10. I think Green's going to have an explosive
you got
year.
Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, KPJ. And they gonna be playing for nothing. They out there just to get minutes. And you telling me the Kings? I know Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, their future. That's why I think De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis out of there. That's literally their replacements. Yeah. They're gonna let them run a lot. They're gonna trade them and tank and try to get Wembanyama. You put Wembanyama with Keegan Murray, you got your front court. You put Davion Mitchell and somebody else, you got your back court.
How are the Kings literally always retooling every year and still being terrible? Like, that's the only reason. Like, because the Kings on paper, the squad that they have, I think that they should be, if they just were cohesive as an organization, I think that they definitely be the 10 seed. I just don't think they're cohesive enough. That's my take there. So before we get out of here, we're gonna have to get into the preseason. I'm sorry, the awards for this season next week. But before we get out of here, fellas, are we witnessing the new Brady and Manning in Mahomes and Josh Allen? Are we witnessing that in this generation with these two?
So I would say no, just because I feel like you got to give Josh Allen, I say another year or two to get to that echelon. But the way you explained it in the pre-show, saying that every time they go against each other, it's an absolute showdown. You are right in that regard.
Chris, what you thinking?
I think it's must-watch TV. I think it's way too early to say that about Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes, definitely. I think the trajectory I have in my head for Patrick Mahomes, I think he becomes, if not, I think he becomes the next thing next to Aaron Rodgers. Like, I don't think anybody gonna get as many rings as Brady again. But if you talk about get out the bed, throw the football, no stretching, no nothing, I don't think he get better than Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. I really don't.
I'm gonna tell you, again, in terms of like the players that they are, you're absolutely right. It's disrespectful to put these two at that level, to put Mahomes at the Brady level, to put Josh Allen at the Manning level. Sure, I'm simply saying this from the standpoint of like, it's must-see TV. It's always gonna be a big deal when those two play, and not only that, I think both of these guys are going to have Super Bowls going forward. I think Mahomes will have more, but I think Josh Allen's going to get him one or two. Which, how many did Peyton Manning retire with?
Two.
You see what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, we're going to look up and we're going to look back and say, man, we got to witness that 2 times in our lifetime. Like 2 quarterbacks in the same conference, back to back.
It's going to be the way that Mahomes get his that kind of remind you of a Brady. You know, a lot less to throw to, but he always gets it done.
Alrighty. Well, we appreciate y'all coming out, but I know y'all tired of us talking about the preseason show. We know y'all want to get into seeing what's going on in terms of these new NBA games that are. Why did I say new NBA games dropping as if it's a new 2K or something?
Y'all heard new NBA come out tonight?
the NBA opening nights happening all around the league. So we gonna let y'all get on out of here. Peace and love, y'all.